a perspective of being a man is learning on the fly as a man. Sometimes in the inner city, we don't have all the information available to us. So, what are some of the things that you had to learn on the fly that you wasn't taught when you was younger that you kind of figure out along the way? Do you think these young bulls need to know
I
coming out of
mean,
high school?
I think that applies to everything. I mean, your first fight, like what I mean. My dad told me how to fight, and told me the things to watch out for. But when it happens, things are different. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You fight one person, but you got beef with three people the next day. It's like, well, this is like, well, they belong to this clique or their family is big. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was only going to have to be one person. You know what I mean? And then it's like ongoing beef and things like that. When you have conflicts, sometimes it just doesn't end when it climaxes. You know what I mean? It's a lingering effect. So all the decisions you make sometimes have a lingering effect, especially the negative ones. Good decisions have an effect too. So if you learn to work hard, you know what I mean, though it'll affect you later on in life as well. So good habits affect you just as much as bad habits, but it's always an ongoing effect of one thing you do in the moment.
Yeah. Where you go, Pia? What you think? It's a lot of stuff. It's just something that stand out to you. It's a lot. But...
It's really money management.
Oh
Because
yeah, for
you
sure.
run across so much money, but you spend it, and like I say, once you get everything that you wanted as a kid growing up, then when you get older, you be like, really get older, you be like, dang, I really didn't need all this stuff. I really could have managed my money a whole lot better. But in the you living in the moment. But that's what I tell them, like stuff like that. Like I was taught all the wrong stuff. All the wrong stuff.
Yeah.
Everything was wrong. I learned it. And then the stuff that I know now, I was like, damn, I really didn't learn that until I turned 24 and to the age I am now.
So you learned a lot of stuff off experience, like basically on the fly that it really serves you versus the things other people taught you.
Yep. Yeah.
And the consequences of those bad financial decisions, you know what I mean? You sit up in debt or don't have what you should have or what you think you should have. When I look back on the amount of money, I've never been rich, but I spent a lot of y'all be like, man, you spent that? Yeah, some years I only made 20,000, but I probably spent 50 or 70. You know what I mean? Like, how does that happen? You know what I mean? So where there's a will, there's a way. You know what I mean? I'm still balanced now, but you know what I mean? If I would have made better decisions, I would be in a better position.
Yeah.
What you think, Mike?
Man, learn on the fly, man. I really think it come down to what you was taught at home, right? What you was taught at home, because whatever you kick to the curb, may not kick to the curb, but once you get out of the real world, you're gonna have to learn. But I think a lot of the problem is a lot of people aren't focused on what they want. And not only they're not focused on what they want, they are afraid of mistakes. And they live in their comfort zone. So I tell people straight up, go fall on your face. When I was 19, I moved 3,000 miles away from my parents. I was like, let me go somewhere else. I moved to Little Rock, where my other family was. Left there, moved to Texas. So what it does is once you get out your comfort zone, you learn on the fly as a man. That's what you're supposed to do. A lot of people, they back down from that challenge. I tell people, because I tell you, the first thing you need to do when you're 18 and graduate high school, leave where you from. I don't care if you go back. Leave where you from and get uncomfortable. That's the only way to truly grow.
Get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Straight up. I just had a speech that said that exact same thing. And the reason why I tell people that is that's how you push yourself to your limits. I don't care if you go back home, but just get out of your comfort zone. You know, because even if you ain't got the means, find a way. Like, shoes, I don't care if you got to take student loans and go live somewhere, live on campus, take student loans. Learn and figure things out and learn how to walk alone, because then you can lead a family. See, we be letting people try to lead a family and you ain't got no life experience.
Man, for real.
And that's one way to go out there and get it and create that faith in yourself. You know what I mean? If you're always leaning, yeah, your family's gonna be there to support you, but when you never try and you're always using it as a crutch, and it's hard to not use things as a crutch when they're available to you. So that's why he says moving is a critical piece on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right
Yeah,
up.
that's why I got the woods behind me, because that's when you in the woods, man, you leave your family. You pretty much feel like you out in the woods, man. You know what I'm saying? I told them at church, when you in the woods, just anything goes. I learned that on the fly. Anything goes. I always tell my cousins, anybody dating has no rules. All these things that you think of ain't no rules. You may have some guidelines, but I'm pretty sure all four of us got different guidelines when we was younger about how we dated women, you know what I'm saying, or how you deal with people, how you deal with somebody that's trying to take advantage of you. Do you go ahead and cut them off right then? Or do you go ahead and handle that? But then what if it's your family? And sometimes things can get complicated, but you got to find a way to simplify, you know what I'm saying, situations to prevent legal situations. Because that's one thing about growing up in the inner city, legal situations, man, you realize how much stuff costs, you know what I'm saying? And a lawyer, you don't realize it, like, man, just to retain a lawyer, you may be spending 7 to 10 grand just talking to him, you know what I'm saying? And staying out of trouble as much as you can is learning that, Sometimes we play with the line. We get right there to the line. Some people be like, nah, I'm good. Some people be like, yeah, let me go deeper in the woods, you know what I'm saying? But I know, like, some people can't do that. They never explored that side of themselves, that dark side. But like selling girls' dreams and stuff. Like that's what we say, selling girls' dreams or whatever. But what some people don't realize is sometimes women know that you do that, but you know what they tell you? What's that song? People say you do this and do that, but just be good to me. You like, wait a minute. They know, she know I'm coming at her crazy, but she said, I don't care what you do to them, just be good to me. But you hear these women out here talking crazy about men at the same time, but they'll be
Sometimes
the
honest, they want what you want. You know
yeah,
what I mean? You think
yeah,
you're really selling them something, but
yeah.
they're there for
They
that.
put themselves in the way. Yeah, they wanted you to sell it to
You
them
know what I mean? They
100%.
heard the stories about your reputation. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Sometimes that's why they're there. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And
He
he
said,
made
yeah,
a good
I know your batting average. I know you batting 380. You know what I'm saying?
man. Just
I
I
know
seen
you
the
batting
picture. I seen
380.
the
Yeah,
picture. You know what I mean? I
yeah.
seen
You
the
know what I'm
picture.
saying?
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how you
So,
see that? But
yeah,
because they sometimes, we're not as sneaky as we think we are.
yeah,
And
for sure.
some of them know exactly what they're getting into.
Yeah,
But y'all two
learning.
make the mics make a good point.
The
Being
mics.
uncomfortable, being uncomfortable
Yeah,
and making foolish
Yeah.
decisions
yeah,
is two different things. You gotta like, hey, am I being reckless or am I growing? Am I thinking on the fly?
yeah.
Trying to adjust to your uncomfortableness and trying to
Mm-hmm.
grow. You do something too far out of bounds, it can set you back. You know what I mean? And you can be sitting behind those bars, or you
Mm-hmm.
can have these kids that you didn't want. You can have a house in Vegas, and
Boy,
some things you can't
boy.
come back from
Yeah, that
being
house in
reckless.
Vegas, boy. You can't
So
come back from that
Yeah. Like
I
unless
feel
you
like
got that Magic Johnson money.
being strong, thinking on the fly, and
Yeah.
adjusting. I mean, that's just a part of life. You know what I mean?
And then things in life is uncomfortable, like learning how to talk to women. Like some dudes still uncomfortable now in their 40s breaking the ice, you know what I'm saying? I know we
Exactly.
out the game because we married, but when we was younger, we knew dudes that was like that, or I know some dudes are attracted to certain girls and certain girls are attracted to certain dudes. And it's like the compatibility of that, you know what I'm saying? You start realizing like people attract different people, you know what I'm saying, based on
I
their
know a dude
personality.
that's basically he gay right now because
You
it was
know?
uncomfortable. Yeah, I mean it was uncomfortable. He was always nervous, afraid, and anxious to talk to girls, and he was more
So
comfortable with talking with guys. I'm more comfortable with talking with y'all. Y'all are guys, but I like women. But he never embraced the uncomfortableness to get what he want. It was just much easier to talk to
So
me.
is
And
that the
then
choice that he made? Is
and then he
that's the
got
excuse?
he got the banana in the tailpipe, and then now he's on their side. You know what I mean? Because he didn't want to get good at it. You know what I mean?
So is that the thinking game when I hear that it's like did he use that as a way to justify him going down that journey, or did he really just didn't want to talk to girls? Because we know some dudes that was terrible social skills and they still got girls. So I don't know. I'm just saying
Yeah, I
sometimes
mean,
people,
look, I mean,
It's
that's
easy
dirt.
for it's
Huh?
easy for a man to get a woman if he know what he want from her.
some dudes that accidentally get women. That's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying they say that,
true.
you
Yeah,
know.
I mean,
I'm
but
saying,
Yeah.
and go with who you are. If you know what you want, right?
Yeah.
It's
That's what I'm
easy
saying.
to attract it and go get it. Even if you're a shy person, but you know what you want, you were gonna go get it. It's just nature. That's you as a natural as a man, right? So I mean, like
Yeah.
Gonna turn it up. Gonna
Yeah.
turn up a whole nother notch.
I was just saying, man. Some
you know,
people
I'm
use
gonna give him the game, whether I'm nervous or not. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm gonna give him the game, but I think that was an excuse, and this is more comfortable being in this environment, and then you adapt. Some more things happen in this person's life, and you know they end up where they are. But
Yeah.
you know, when they were trying, they got the most
think you-
humiliating stories in their mind. The anxiety or the failure is the fear of failure was so great as a child. And now I see this person as an adult, well, not as a teenager, not as a child. And
I
that's,
think you learn that as a man too on the fly, right? People will they'll BS you about excuses and stuff, right? They'll
of course.
oh yeah. I didn't wake up saying I was gonna smoke crack, but the choice that you made to smoke the crack, yeah, you did. You kinda did say that, but you said, I didn't wake up saying I was gonna do drugs, but man, why are you over there in the trap house, man? You should have never went over there in the trap house, you know what I'm saying?
But drugs is always like the effect of something. Like they're trying to escape something. Nobody
No,
said,
but it comes down to a choice. That's what I'm saying. It comes down to a choice.
Nobody said
You don't blink your eyes and the pipe in your mouth. That's all I'm saying.
I want to get away from something. I want to get away from something so bad. Anything can help. They're searching for healing, medicine, God, whatever. And they tried
But
everything
the data.
else.
But we
Maybe
got
this
data. That's
crack-
what we learned on the fly. It's data out there that said it won't work though.
Maybe this crack will help me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
maybe.
data.
I tried everything else. Man, I tried
Yeah.
everything else.
Yeah, some people do
But-
be saying
I'm gonna be real. That come from just really not acknowledging like any type of family trauma or whatever trauma you running from. I think that's
Yeah.
really what it come down to.
Yeah.
Like drugs, any of that. Like
Yeah.
even any addictions you got, man, it just come from family stuff that you ain't
And
really.
as a man, right? As a man, you have to learn that about yourself. Some things you have to admit, like to resolve those issues. It's dudes our age that they never made a mistake. Like, dude, you have to admit to yourself, dude, I messed up. I got to get better at this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's hard you have an ego. It's hard to admit, like, okay, my red zone offense is not that great. I need to do better when I get in the red zone. You know what I'm saying? But
That's also come from do you want to grow, right?
yeah, sure.
Most
Yeah.
people don't truly want to grow. They want to blame everything and else around them. Like,
Boy.
for example, we just got out this political season or whatever. You
Yeah.
see how many people be going crazy over all this stuff, and it's like
I'm like,
you don't know how
exactly.
to adapt to whoever in the office. Like, dang,
Man.
bro.
Yeah,
Don't change.
for real.
But cats be really like, man, I can't adapt to what's
They talking about they believe dude talking about he gonna make groceries affordable. Dude, he just talking about slapping tariffs on China. Ain't nothing gonna be affordable. Nothing.
But in general, though, like even if you know that, you don't know how to adapt. You don't know how to create more
Yeah,
income.
100%.
You know how to adapt. Know how to create more income. Know how to
Yes.
practice work. You know what I'm saying? And people don't want to take that because it's like it's the hard thing.
Yeah. You got to put in that work.
You got to do
You
it.
You got to put in that work, just like in the streets. You got to put in that work.
See,
You
and a
wanna
lot of times it's not the work; it's the thinking. Thinking is the work that they don't want to do. They'll be on the whole squad. They'll do manual labor. They'll do that kind of work. But when you have to think and navigate, think on the
Right.
fly, things like that, they don't want to do that. The mental work that's required to hustle or to find a way.
Right.
If somebody can tell you the way and you can work up to it, yes. But
Even somebody
sometimes-
tell you the way. It's like, master classes, right?
No,
Hey,
I
we
mean,
got an 8-hour master class. How many
Okay,
people?
That's the difference. Like you got to. It's all about choice. You got to choose the right master class. You know what
Yes.
I mean? If I can sell you a bridge to nowhere,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Please come take my class.
And then how many people buy a master class and never look at it though? You have to sit down and learn it at the same time.
Yes, I mean, but a lot of people get the analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
I'm going to think 30 years on which
boy.
master class to buy. They're stuck on the step one. And like I say, like Mike was saying, family trauma. People don't. Well, that happened a long time ago. That don't affect me. That ain't nothing. Your uncle touching you, or
your mama not being
your cousin.
all that stuff.
That right there that ain't talked about, like your uncle touching you. That's
Yeah.
why people choose that crack pipe. They ain't trying to think about that. You know what I'm saying?
Forever, you know what I mean? And you can't choose what memories to access or whatever. You can't stop every time you see a three-speed fan. You're taken back when that uncle came into that room. So what do you do to block out that trauma? You know what I mean? You need something. You need therapy, God, but crack is more affordable and it's
You said crack is more affordable.
you know what I mean? So people
Hey, if you got trauma, we can only
you know what?
$4.99.
but they what they did to me didn't affect me. That don't make me abusive. That's not why I beat my wife. That's not why I drink every night. They don't put that stuff together. So now, Mike, you made a great point on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
Anybody
real.
else want to say something?
I'm real. Like when you was talking about like people not addressing their trauma. I don't know if I know y'all know who Charleston White is, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
for
sir.
sure.
I'm gonna be real. That's why I love dude, because he be talking to people to how they can go and address that. Like he really goes deep to the people that need to hear that can hear it. A lot of people don't like his message and how he say it, but I love it. I'll be like, the people that need to hear it, it's gonna land on their ears, and I think that's a lot of trauma.
I mean, he tried to do it like the right way.
Yeah,
fully clean. Nobody listened to him. You know what I'm saying?
Straight
So
up.
he just turned up. I guess. Yeah.
I'm gonna be. Hold on, you can't cuss on this podcast, but he had to do it the first way. You can't do it with a suit and tie. They ain't listening no more.
Yeah.
Yep.
Y'all want to? Nigga, I'm gonna act like one. You know what I'm saying? Give it
Yeah.
to way, and that's sometimes how you got to give it to people. You know?
Yeah.
So I mean, the same thing with Kevin Samuels when he was like nice and he said what y'all wanted to hear and he dressed it up for y'all. Y'all thought it was good, but y'all didn't react. Now when he's being a-hole or like Charleston White, when he's delivering a message raw, now y'all have a problem with it. But when you have a problem with something, it seems, or conflict, it seems to go viral. It reaches more ears. Negativity reaches more ears than positivity.
Yeah. The only thing that I hate about it with Charles is just people want more. It's like feeding Seymour when you go down that route. It's almost like you have to keep nicking yourself. You got to keep putting feed me. The negativity, they just want more of it, and it's like how far. I hope he don't hurt himself. I hope he don't put himself in a position where he get hurt. But
this is what I think, though. This is what I think the good part about it. The good that comes out of it is look at the platforms he got on, because his favorite interview of him is the one with Cam Newton. Like he took it there, and then he took it there in like a way that now everybody see like, oh, this is what you was trying to do. Now he on the right platform. So I think I think he probably is going to put himself in that position, but I think people ain't going. No, but he no. You know what I think is? He'll straight up tell you, I'll call the police on you.
Yeah.
He know who.
But that's the thing people don't realize. In the streets, the police still take time to get there, though. Somebody could pop before the police get there.
If somebody know, a street dude, if somebody know, like, hey, dude is a willingly known dude that's going to tell, and
they don't want them problems.
Yeah, you don't want them problems.
But we know, we all know street dudes that still will crash out. If you meet that wrong person, they'll still crash out.
They ain't crashing out on the police. That's what
Charles. They won't crash out on the police.
You know what? What y'all saying? Charleston White is doing is strategical. The ones that's dangerous enough to be a threat to him got sense enough to know, dude, to call the police. And the ones crazy enough to mess with him, despite him calling the police, they too stupid to be really, really dangerous. You know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure if we go to O Block, they don't care about the police. If we go to O Block, they gonna eat his lunch. If we go to O Block. Them dude's crazy, man.
It depends on it depends on the situation. But he said he's not going there. He's not going to a place.
We talk about it all the time. You think about Highland Park. They didn't care about the police. Go over there playing if you want to.
Yeah, you see what happened too.
Yeah, I know that's what I'm saying.
It's not there no more.
I know, right? I know what I'm saying. But there's some dudes out there that'll crash out, though. There's some dudes out there that'll crash
there
out.
was. dudes.
You don't think it's like that no more? I think it's still some young bulls out there
No,
that's
I mean,
crazy.
guess what? They're in that place. So the ones that are stupid enough to crash out on a cop or a known snitch, their lifespan and their
Right.
freedom.
I'm not saying it's a lot of them, but
it's very short. No, it's short, and they will get caught because they're not smart. The ones that are
right.
smart enough to be dangerous won't do it. You know what I
They
mean?
leave it
It's
alone.
really calculated, and he's not that much of a threat to any criminal organization worth his salt. To hit
Yeah, I
it.
think he know how to move. Though. I think on
He
camera
ain't
he's
dumb.
one person, but off the camera he know how to move. He not stupid though. I think he know how to move and not put himself in them situations. I like old boy though. The other dude he used to do the podcast with though. What's his name? Is it Percy? OG Percy? He be talking about that dude. Pretty cool too, man. Dude, pretty funny,
Yeah.
man. Tales from a crazy. Tales from a crazy.
That's crazy.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's you know what I'm saying.
But
You
yeah.
know, I like what he's talking about, but just in
Oh,
general, that's what we have to learn on the fly. You know, you got to learn
Yeah.
certain things, but get out that comfort zone for sure.
All right, guys.
Yeah, I mean,
to change. Everybody know my
Mike
name.
always
I guess
talking
I
about
got
it. You know what I mean? You got to struggle now to be comfortable later. You know what I mean? You don't have like when you young and got strength, you don't want to be comfortable. Like you know what I mean? But when you're in a wheelchair, yeah, you need to be living a life of ease. But you earn that life of ease and leisure when you're in your younger, stronger days. So.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like before we get off this too, learn on the fly, learning how to make those good decisions that set you up for later in life. Like taking the gap year, man, dude. Just man, go do an apprenticeship or something, do a trade or something. Don't. So much stuff can happen within a year, man, and it can set you back so far, man. Just it's kind of dangerous sometimes. You gotta be careful with that. It's like rolling the dice almost. You know
But you do have to learn to appreciate the rest period. But you just out of high school. What you need a break? I mean, like you know what I mean. You haven't really kind of earned your rest. You know what I mean?
Because I know I didn't understand when I was younger that you can make if you go down a certain path, you can make 60, 70, 80 grand a year as a salary. I didn't even know that was possible growing up in Southwest. You know what I'm saying? Just like when I was younger, like what? You know what I'm saying? But it's out there. But you gotta understand how to get to it. It don't just happen. You just don't snap your fingers and you making 80 grand a year or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Something
Be
like
real. A lot of that come from our upbringing, though. Is
Man.
For sure. Yeah.
I'll tell you why. Because I'm gonna be real, and that's what I noticed about living here and being around other coaches and how they move.
Yeah.
They give their kids a plan of what you're doing. Like they parents straight up tell them, you either going to school to be a doctor or engineer. Ain't nothing else. I ain't paying for nothing.
The Nigerians. Let me tell you something.
No, for real. And what it does,
set up.
You go to school to be a doctor.
Yeah, it creates a culture. And that culture is this is the bottom line, and this is all we're gonna do. You can go be a chef in your free time. You can pay for that after you a doctor. Straight up.
I say it all the time.
Yeah, I'm telling my kids straight up. You're going to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer, or you can learn a trade. Other than that, I ain't paying for nothing else. You go figure that out. Like I told my son, but I teach my son everything I know about real estate.
Right.
Teach him everything. Now he can, when he older, whatever else, he can get one of those degrees, and then if you want to be a YouTuber, go do it.
Right, for sure.
Yeah, it's easier to chase your dreams on a full stomach. You know what I mean? Like if you want, you got to eat first. You know what I mean? So I always tell people that. I know so many PhDs in music. You know what I mean? Like,
man,
what are you doing?
Crazy.
I mean, and they're like working 9 to 5. You make $35,000 with a PhD.
Man.
I mean, I'm not saying they're wrong. Hey, that's your dream. Chase it. But Mike, you're talking about like, hey, if I would have known these things, knowledge and experience just don't appear. So you cannot feel guilty about not taking those opportunities when you were 19, 20, and you just didn't know that. And it's no way.
I don't feel guilty. I just say that to the young people.
That experience.
Yeah, I just tell the young people that so they can understand, like, just because you don't know it, I can give you the insight so you can know it. And if you want to make a better decision, it's up to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being transparent about how I was when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes your focus is in the wrong place. My focus was on cars, girls, and money. You know what I'm saying? And that's where my focus was. It shouldn't have been there, but it's where it was. You know what I'm saying? So,
like you try not to blame parents because they did the best they could with what they had. And like I say, what I learned a lot of bad stuff, but I learned a lot of good stuff too. Like I didn't know how. My dad didn't teach me how to change a tire, whatever. My
Right.
grandpa did.
Right.
My
And
grandpa
I
did.
think me and Nick talk about this all the time. Learning about your parents from an objective standpoint, where you look at the whole canvas and not judge, but learn what not to do based on what happened before you. You know what I'm saying? That if you can do that, you know what I'm saying? Because like I say, people be talking about history and stuff. Like, listen, man, most people don't even know how far their family history go back. And then if they did, it'll probably break your heart. Some of the stuff that happened in your family. You know what I'm saying?
Bruh, you
And
hit it on the head. Like when they say history, I tell people too, when I say history, I'm talking about some people be like, they know all this history, but don't know who their grandma is. Like
yeah,
the history you need to go figure out because that's your DNA. That's what's running through you. The decisions they made, them probably the same decisions you gonna make if you're on the world. Because that's a huge man.
Yeah,
Like knowing your dad, what your dad made, what mistake your mom made, and then
Boy.
what good did they do, and adding that, and then seeing what you can take and seeing what you can put away.
yeah.
Yeah, because those characteristics and those behaviors are sometimes ingrained in you, even though you didn't see them. It's just stuff how you eat, how you're like, how many sides you get. You know what I mean? Eating spaghetti as a side. You know what I mean? And now you're 300 pounds. You don't know why. And then it's like it's hard to find out that your grandma used to sell that thing. You know what I mean? But that's me, mom.
Man, I can't be having.
And what's the percentage of families if you go back to know that the slave master part of your family? You know, what do you think the percentage of that is? You know, if you really trace it back, like 80% probably. You know
my grandma, my mama light skinned. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
When it come out. So,
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I was real hesitant on that ancestry.com, but I finally went ahead and did it. Man, I've traced my family back to the 1700s. It was crazy.
Oh, that was
but it's crazy. Like you start seeing, and then you start meeting your other family. You know, because I ain't gonna lie, my granddaddy, Rolling Stone, man. You know, be real,
cousin.
Cousins in 18s.
Yeah, man.
Cousin Pete.
Yeah,
my dad's side of the family is doing that with our family reunion. We're just trying to because we got a lot of family in different states. Because you know what I mean. Sometimes you go on vacation. You know what I mean. You're gonna be just hitting stuff. You know what I mean. Hey man, that might be your cousin. You got to chill out. Because you know people go on a cruise and start. You know, it's a shooting gallery, and then it's like you know. The baby.
What if you mess around and get the house in Vegas from a family? That'd be crazy.
That's a new meaning of keeping it in the family.
Whoa.